Hello, today I want to show you how I make cheesecake. This is the way I make it. The recipe will resemble some other recipes, but everyone does things a little different, so this is how I make mine. In this bowl I have softened at room temperature 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese that I've already mixed a little, but as you can see it's soft and smooth. I also have, here is my graham cracker crust, and it did not come this way. It actually was just the regular ready crust that Keebler makes. And I always paint my crust with whatever flavoring I'm going to be making the cheesecake. And this is what I use to spread on the base of my crust. I also have 2 eggs in this bowl. I have a half of a tablespoon of flour, a cup of sugar, and this is an 8-ounce container of sour cream, but I'm only going to use half of that because I cut my recipe in half. I usually make more than one pie, so I cut my recipe in half just to make this one. And also pure vanilla extract. Pure vanilla extract is the best, and since it is more powerful than the average, I'm only going to be using a half of a teaspoon of that. Let's get started. Okay, since I've already begun mixing my cream cheese, what you want to do before you add any ingredients, because this is kind of stiff and it may cause problems if you add any ingredients to it before, because it'll make a mess. So I'm going to add half of this sour cream to this. I'm going to refrigerate the other half. And I'm going to mix this. I'm going to mix this a little with the spatula before I stick the mixer back in it, just to prevent any splatter of any sort. I'm not too big of a fan of the New York style cheesecake because it's more dense. It doesn't require sour cream in the recipe, but to each its own. You can make this same recipe without the sour cream. I've seen people add milk, but sour cream is more rich and it's going to cause it to have a more creamy texture. And we're going to mix this. I only have one of my mixing utensils in because this is not like a cake, so I don't necessarily have to beat it till it's fluffy. I just want everything incorporated. Definitely want to add everything before you add the eggs, because once you put the eggs in, you don't want to overmix them. It causes cracking on top of the cheesecake. So next I'm going to add my sugar, and I'm not going to use quite the whole cup, but I needed more than half of a cup, so this is about 1/3 of a cup of sugar. And I'm going to use my spatula to fold that in a little. And I'm also going to go ahead and sprinkle in my flour. Once again, mixing a little before I cut the mixer on to prevent any flour mistakes, flour flying mistakes. Okay. And I'm mixing this just long enough for all of the lumps to be out of it before I add the eggs, so that it will minimize how much mixing I have to do when I add my eggs. The batter should be completely ready when I add my eggs. Okay, now I'm going to add my eggs one at a time and my vanilla. Which is only going to be a half of a teaspoon. As I said, this is a more potent vanilla because it's pure vanilla. So that's a half of a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. And we're going to mix that. Well, first I want to, before I make a mess, incorporate it a little with my spatula. This egg needs to be mixed in pretty well before you add the other egg, but not beaten to death, because you're not trying to get a rise out of the cheesecake like you would a regular cake. So don't overmix your cake. Okay, as you can see, that's mixed in. And I'm going to add my last egg. Scrape the sides to make sure we have no cream cheese lumps just lingering. But everything seems to be mixing well. Okay. And mix that a little bit more. And that's all the mixing I'm going to do. Now, here comes the part with the crust. As you can see, I've already lined my crust with my strawberry gel flavoring. And now I'm going to just add my mixture to the pie crust. You would use 4 packs for 2 cheesecakes, which is normally what I do, but not this time. I only need 1. I may make another one for Thanksgiving. I haven't decided yet. And you're going to shake it like that. I'm actually going to scoop out some of this cheesecake mixture so that I can add gel to it and then enclose the rest with the remainder of the mixture. So here comes the fun part, where you add your globs of strawberry gel. Everyone does theirs different, so if you're not doing it exactly like I do, that's fine. Oh, that looks like a face. Look at that. And I'm just going to take a fork and swirl this around. And this is what it looks like once you swirled it. Some people actually put their cheesecake in a moisture bath, but I don't do that. I bake it in the oven, uncovered, no water or anything. And actually, I'm not going to be able to show you when I pull this out of the oven because I could not find my tripod for my regular cameras, so I'm using my phone, which I cannot use time-lapse on my phone. But this is what the mixture is going to look like when it bakes. These swirls will still be here. You're going to bake this from anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes and let it cool completely. Refrigerate it for a little while because this is a dessert best served cold. If you eat it while it's hot, then it'll be too creamy and raw tasting. So once you bake this for 30 to 45 minutes, the middle should still be a little jiggly, not moving like it is now, but a little jiggly. And you will let that cool out on the counter for about an hour, and then you will refrigerate it for a couple of hours, and then it'll be ready to slice and eat. Sorry I cannot show you the end result, but I will take a picture and post a picture after it's come out of the oven. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy. Bye bye.